A conflict. Now, I think we've all got one, or some. We've all got a few conflicts, things that we have one opinion about something under a certain set of circumstances, and an opinion about another thing under a certain set of circumstances, and they kind of conflict with each other. Okay. I've got this conflict within me because I've come from more of a scientific background, from engineering and electronics, and then moving towards kind of the neuroscience of how our body works and the chemical kind of processes and all of that stuff. And then as I've learned that, I've moved more towards how the mind works, because neuroscience and consciousness start to then blend into this weird little place that I find myself in now. So I've got all this information about nutrition and what my opinion on healthy nutrition is, and that might be different to your opinion on healthy nutrition, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. It's actually better that we go with what we believe, but there's this deep belief that we need to eat in a certain way to achieve health. Okay, whatever belief system you go with, whether it's veganism, vegetarianism, whether it's keto, whether it's carnivorous, or whatever. Okay, hey, if you're liking this video so far, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, because I want to make your life better, healthier, happier, and the way I do that is by giving you some great content videos. Please leave a comment, let me know what you need some help with, and in the next videos I can help you a bit better. We have this belief that we have to eat a certain way to get our health back. It might be we then can go on to exercise, and we might have to think about what about work and all these kinds of goal settings and all this kind of thing. And then there's I've got this conflict. Okay, certainly about what I'm going from science and belief, and they kind of conflict, but I think they kind of come together at the same time as well. When people ask me, it's like, well, what do I need to eat to lose weight? Well, I'm like, what do you need to eat to lose weight? Because it's more about belief. Now I'm going to read a very short passage from this is basically, it's not my Bible, okay? It's kind of like, it's just a book I like reading because it's really helped me develop my beliefs and work on my fears and work on the stuff going on in my life. So I do highly recommend this. I don't recommend this as the first book you read from this guy, okay, Dr David Hawkins. Hey, if you are going to read one of his books first, you probably want to read a book called Power versus Force, and this one probably second. Anyway, so this is one of my favourite passages from this book. A surrendered person, so one who has let go, okay, can eat anything or go anywhere and is no longer subject to fears of contaminants, pollutants, drafts, germs, electromagnetic frequencies, bloody blah, there's a few other things. Our perception of the body shifts, and it now seems to be like a puppet or a pet. Okay, so once you've released all of your fears and released all of your negative emotions and kind of become detached from any kind of emotional consequences and guilt of eating certain foods and being in certain environments and behaving in a certain way, once you've removed yourself from the negative feelings of all of that stuff, you're basically free to eat and do pretty much whatever you like with very little or zero consequence. And the only reason that we have consequences is because we have this fear, oh well, if I eat this then this will happen, a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Okay, if you think that, then that's a fear. Okay, oh, I'm going to have to lose all those calories, I've just eaten 500 calories worth of cake, I'm going to have to exercise to get rid of it, or just suffer the consequences of being overweight. And there's guilt, and then there's fear of all the work you've got to do, and then there's fear of what other people will think, and there's fear of criticism, and there's fear of judgment, and there's all these other things that are going on because you haven't surrendered the negative emotion associated with eating a certain food, or with not going out and doing the exercise and doing the things that you should do, or not doing the things that you should do, because we feel guilty, because we're afraid, because of all these other things. So I've got this conflict of like, well, I think people should eat this way because that's what the science says. Okay, so if we eat a low inflammation diet, and if we kind of reduce our calories a little bit, and if we do a bit of fasting, we'll overall reduce the level of inflammation in our body. so therefore we're less likely to have chronic pain and to get arthritis and to have chronic disease and to have cancer and all these kinds of things. Okay, if we reduce the inflammation through how we eat in particular style and certain foods that kind of raise inflammation, sugar for example, okay, kind of processed foods, we know these things aren't great for us. Okay, I've got this kind of conflict of like, I know this, but if I removed all the fear and all the guilt and all the shame and all the anger and all the pride about eating in a certain way and trying to promote eating a certain way, then maybe I'll be able to eat those things and not suffer the negative consequences. Okay, I don't think I'm there yet, because I will feel guilty for eating, you know, an excessive amount of crisps, okay, or chocolate, or, you know, foods that I probably know I shouldn't eat, because I've got this kind of thought process. But once I've surrendered all these fears, the concept is that you will just naturally do a better thing. You'll naturally make an improved choice for your health. You'll naturally stop doing bad things for your body, and you will naturally do better, more good things for your body, and you will kind of just intuitively know what is the right thing to do. So I've got this conflict of, here's all the science and here's all the thing, but if we work hard enough and well enough on changing our emotions and changing all the feelings that we feel about the food and the exercise and the lifestyle and all the things that we kind of should and shouldn't do, if we change all of that and change our beliefs, then kind of the science doesn't matter so much. So it's like, yeah, here's a load of science, here's a load of, it's good stuff, okay, because it's backed by, you know, people in white coats and laboratories all over the world, okay, and people who've had, you know, life experience and lived these things and know these things, and they've trained very hard for many years to learn this stuff. And there's, you know, there's all this good science, and then there's the other side of it where it's like, all you've got to do is change your belief, okay? And once you've made a firm decision and it is your absolute 100% belief, and there is no fear and there is no guilt and there is no anger and there is no pride and there is no envy and all those kind of 7 deadly sins kind of things, okay? Once you've deleted that, then this science doesn't matter so much, but you'll naturally kind of choose the right thing anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of torn between these two worlds of pure belief and kind of more pure science. So maybe that's why I struggle with who's my ideal client. Hey, is it the person who wants the science, or is it the person who wants the belief? And I'm kind of in between the two. Hey, thanks again for watching. I'm Pete, this is Retrain Pain. I'll see you again another day. Cheerio.